Hello everyone, today we'll be discussing the new chapter drainage and dewatering. So before that, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe it and also press the bell icon to never miss any updates.
Hello everyone, a pleasant morning to everybody. So today we'll be discussing about the chapter drainage and dewatering. Say for example, this is the ground level, okay, and it is having the soil sample on the surface also, and it is also having the small rock and other small particles, okay, some amount of water, that is gravity water. So in order to remove, in order to drain out the important water parameters, and also to dig the drainage in order to collect the waste materials, drainage is done. Coming to the classification of drainage, we have surface drainage and subsurface drainage. Surface drainage is the method of collection and direction of the surface runoff. Whatever the surface runoff is going to take place, say for example this is the land mass, and the surface runoff is going to take place, it will be collected in particular area where there is the total amount of water or the other constituents of soil will be stored in a particular place. That drainage is called as surface drainage. Coming to the next one, that is subsurface drainage. What are its purposes and applications we will study here. Subsurface drainage is particularly on the top of the surface. Whatever the drainage is going to take place, that is surface drainage. Inside the soil mass, whatever the drainage is going to take place, okay, that is called as subsurface drainage. And what are the purpose and what are the intentions and where all it is used, applications of it will be studying here. So coming to the first one, that is collection and disposal of the subsurface groundwater. The water which is present beneath the surface, that is subsurface groundwater. In order to collect and dispose them, this subsurface drainage has to be excavated. Second one is to keep the excavation dry so that the concreting can be done. In order to keep make the concreting on the upper surface of the soil mass, what we have to do, we have to dig the subsurface drainage in order to make it more stable enough. It also improves the different properties of soil, okay. Say for example compaction, consolidation, everything is done which is on the surface of the soil. To improve that, this subsurface drainage is being done. To reduce the hydrostatic pressure along the base of the structure, okay. Base of the structure has some amount of friction on it, because of which even if the water flows on it, there is amount of hydrostatic pressure generated. In order to reduce the hydrostatic pressure on the structure, in order to sustain that, in order to not maintain the particular amount of water on the surface, this subsurface drainage is being done. Now discussing about the interceptor ditches and sumps. So this is a particular picture. Here this is the groundwater table, okay, and this is the ground level, and here the excavation is being done. This is called a sump pump, and it is also having a pump which is having the different filters on it, okay. What happens is, in order to remove the water collected, pumps are being installed. If the soil is fine sand of low permeability, that means the sand is thick and it is not allowing the water to flow through it, then the boiling may occur in the sumps, okay. So boiling of water may be happening in this sump. In order to prevent the boiling of the water inside the sumps, what happens here is, the filters are being fixed, okay. Different layer of filters are being fixed at the sump level in order to prevent the amount of water which is going to be boiled. And fine silts and sands, sloughing is done in the quick soil conditions up to the depth of 1 to 2 meter, okay. Sloughing is done to the depth of 1 to 2 meter. Start discussing about the single well point, okay. This is the picture of a single well point. You can see this is the riser pipe, it is the screen which is present below the riser pipe, and this is the ball point valve, okay. And how it is installed in the ground, this is mentioned here. This is the clay portion, okay. So whatever it is there in the upper surface, that is clay, okay. This is clay portion, and this is the water table, and this is the well point, and below the water table there is sand, okay, and this is the reduced water table. Next, how is this done? What are the installation process and how the working procedure is there? Let us learn about it one by one. So you can see here in this picture, this is the diagrammatic representation. Now let us see the working procedure of this single well point. You can look at this picture. It is having 5 centimeter dia, okay, and In order to prevent the clogging, the screens are being produced as you can see here. Jet nozzle which is present, that is present below the surface. Okay, it is present at the lower end. Ball valve, it is near the lower end. So water will be moved particularly in the downward direction. This is what is the working procedure of the ball valve. Connected to the water of the riser pipe, this ball valve is connected to the riser pipe. Riser pipe is connected to the header pipe. Header pipe is connected to the pumping unit. Stages are being installed. Okay, 5-meter depth excavations are being done in stage by stage. In the first stage, 5 meter of excavation is done. Next, in the second stage, again 5-meter excavation is being done. Okay, drawdown is going to take place and the excavations will be going on one by one. Okay, now let us study about the installation. Using the jets, we can install it inside the ground surface. Water is in the normal direction, that means it is coming in the downward direction. Okay, jet, what it will do, it will wash all the soil particles, and only the coarse material which is present on the surface, that is left out. Okay, there is formation of the neutral filter at the tip, at the downward end. Okay, excavation can be done step by step as 5 to 6 meter in the initial stage, and the permeability is 1 into 10 raised to power 4 and to 1 into 10 raised to power of 6 velocity. The permeability is allowed, that means it is allowed to flow through the ground surface. Only up to 5 to 6 meter it is allowed for the single stage well point. So if it exceeds more than 6, then we have to install multi-stage or double stage well point. 2 stages in this picture you can see. Okay, well points are located near the perimeter of this. At the single stage well point, the water table up to 5-meter depth area is excavated. And in the second stage of installation, what happens? Water table is lowered to 5-meter down, and again 5-meter excavation is being done, and again 5-meter, 5-meter, 5-meter it is going to be excavated up to 50-meter. Okay, so what is this vacuum well point? What happens in this vacuum well point? We'll discuss here. So this is a riser pipe, this is the head pipe, and the clay is excavated up to 1 meter, and the water level is at the downward end, and the sand filter is there in this condition, and voids are in the vacuum condition. So 25 centimeter of the well point is being dug here, and this is the groundwater table as you have seen here. Okay, so what it states is well points cannot be used for successfully for the silty sands which are having the size of less than 0.05 meter. So because of that, vacuum well points are being installed. Okay, the permeability coefficient is up to 10 raised to minus 5 to 10 raised to minus 7 meter per second. So 25 centimeter is being dug by jetting the water into the pressure. As I've said, up to this 1 meter, there is a formation of clay layer, and clay is filled up to the depth of 1 meter. And what happens next is medium to coarse sand is also being filled in this particular drainage system. The seal is formed, it is being compacted, and there is a formation of seal. So it is also having a header at the top end, and that what happens, that creates the vacuum. There is a particular region in the well point, as well as there is a formation of vacuum, groundwater table, and there is going to be drainage occurring at that particular place. So that is effective stress is being increased here, and also because of the allowing of water table and also creation of vacuum, what happens, the consolidation of the soil particle also takes place. So this process is very slow. It takes nearly weeks together for the formation of this, and for that the soil has to become stiff enough to carry the excavation work. Okay, coming to the different types of it, it has two well point system, that is shallow well point and deep well point. We'll discuss about this one by one. Now we'll discuss about shallow well point and deep well point. You can see this picture of a shallow well point. So let us discuss about shallow well point now. It is having 30 centimeter dia. It is the groundwater table at which the groundwater is located, and it is the filter coarse materials which is present inside the dig surface, and this is the filter tube that you are going to see here, and this is the spacing that is vacuum created in this particular area. So let us discuss about the working procedure of the shallow well point. Using the casing, it is being bored and it is being dug. The filter tube is 15 centimeter in dia. It is covered with the wire mesh and lowered into the casing. Okay, this is the filter tube. It is lowered and it is having the wire mesh. They are also having the annular space, that is voids between it, and there is a casing and a filter tube which is located beneath the surface of the groundwater table. Now this forms the filter well. Shallow depth, shallow well point, it is also called as filter well. It is also having a suction pipe which is lowered in the filter well. There is a suction pipe, you can see here, it is inside the filter well. Dewatering is done. That means the water is being removed and it is being excavated, and the suction pipe is connected to the header, and the pumping is caused because of the drainage. Because of that, pumping what happens, there is dewatering, and this is up to the depth of 10 meter. Till the depth of 10 meter, the shallow well point can be excavated, and many such type of shallow well points can be installed in our locality or our area. Coming to the next one, that is deep well point. It is, so depth is up to 15 to 30 meter and the diameter is how much? 30 to 60 centimeter. Between the casing and the wall of the hole, it has certain amount of coarse filler material. It is also having a submersible pump which is present inside the casing near the bottom. Near the bottom there is submersible pump. Pump is driven by the motor and mounted on the top. Pump is mounted on the top using the casing through the different shafts which is located. Motor is initially in the submerged condition. So the rows of the well points are installed at the toe. At the toe itself, the rows of the well points, that is deep well points, are being installed. So because of the installation of side slope and the row of well points, there is an excavation made, and the seepage between the deep well is being prevented because of the slowing of the slopes which is near the toe. Until the completion of the entire excavation process up to the depth of 15 to 30 meter, pumping is continuously being done. That means the water which is present in the deep well point is continuously excavated, and there is a creation of voids, and because of that there is a formation of annular space. Seepage pressure in the excavated area is very dangerous, that as it can cause a lot of harm for the humankind. And there will also be loss of different properties of soil because of seepage pressure, and there is also pore water pressure which will be developed on the surface of the sand. So hello friends, now we'll be discussing about electroosmosis process. So this is a row of cathode here, and this is anode. Cathode is nothing but negative electrode, anode is nothing but positive electrode. Whereas in terms of ion, if you see, anion is nothing but negatively charged ion, cation is nothing but positively charged ion. Don't get confused here. In ions, it is an means negative, cat means positive. But in terms of cathode and anode, it is negatively charged electrode, and anode is positively charged electrode. So if you keep this in mind, this process is very easy, and is having the space of 4 to 5 meter. Here also 4 to 5 meter. This is the groundwater table, and this is the reduced groundwater table, and this is the positively charged electrode, that is anode. This is the negatively charged electrode, that is cathode, and this is arranged in this way. So let us study about the working procedure of this electroosmosis process. It is a direct method of drainage of cohesive soils. It is helpful for only cohesive soils. And the DC current is used when the DC current is passed through the saturated soil between the cathode and anode. Pore water migrates to the cathode. So at this particular cathode, there is a formation of pore water, that is neutral pressure. So cathode, what it does, it collects all the water which is drained out from the soil. Positive ions are formed at the negative electrode, and what happens, the materials go into the solution. Now, so as you know, cations, they are the positive ions. They move towards the negatively charged surface of the clay materials to satisfy the electric charges. So if the surface is negative and the ion is positive, they combine with each other to form electric charge. When the cations move towards the cathode, that is positive ions move towards the positive electrode, it takes the attached water molecules away. Next, anode, it is represented as a steel rod which is present near the groundwater, that is toe, and the cathode is having the perforated pipe which it resembles like a well point in a soil, and the mass is up to 4 to 5 meter away from the cut slope. It is having a cut slope, and the mass is how much away from the cut slope? It is almost up to 4 to 5 meter away. Okay, natural water is moving away from the excavation. Because of that, the sloughing is being prevented, and the coefficient of permeability of the water to flow in the soil is up to 10 raised to minus 5 to 10 raised to minus 8 meter per second. So this is what is the working procedure of electroosmosis process. Friends, now coming to the last part of this topic, that is Horsley's method. You can see this excavation being made. It is the level 0, 0. This is the level 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3. The height of 0 to 1 is h1, height of 1 to 2 is h2, height of 2 to 3 is h3. At this particular point at 0, 0, the time is t0. At point 1 it is t1, at 2 it is t2, at 3 it is t3. This is the casing which is located at the surface, and this h is the capital H, h1, h1, h2, h3 is the maximum height of the excavation that are going to be made with respect to this level. Okay. Now we have HW, that is maximum height of the groundwater table. We have to calculate that. Okay, for that we have various formulas. So before going to the formulas, let us discuss the procedure what happens in the Horsley's method. So water is bailed out from the borehole to a level below the groundwater table. To a level below the groundwater table, what happens? The water is extracted. The rise in the groundwater level in the borehole is noted at different intervals of time. At different intervals of time t0, t1, t2, t3, the rise in the groundwater table, how much the water will be raised, that will be noted. How much water is going to rise here. Okay, time you have seen here t0, t1, t2, t3. Okay, and the height with respect to this is h3, h2, h1 and h0 with the various intervals. So for this height, the time is delta t. For height 2, it is 2 times of delta t. For height h3, it is 3 times of delta t. Okay, so above the 0, 0 level, how much the height is there and what time it is going to take place for the excavation, that is noted down in this way. The depth of the water table is calculated by using the formulas. Okay, in order to calculate h0, that is this level, formula is h1 square divided by h1 minus h2. h2 is equal to h2 square divided by h1 minus h2. h3 is equal to h3 square divided by h2 minus h3. So hw1 is equal to hw minus h0. hw2 is equal to hw minus h1 plus h2 plus capital H2. hw3 is equal to capital HW minus h1 plus h2 plus h3 plus capital H3, and average height, that is average depth of the water table, is hw1 plus hw2 plus hw3 divided by 3. This is the depth of the water table. In order to understand the Horsley's method, we will solve this problem. It is very easy problem. So it reads out this way. To establish the location of groundwater in a clay strata, the water in the borehole is bailed out to a depth of 12 meter. So depth is HW, that is it is 12 meter. Below the ground surface, the rise in the water level was recorded after 24 hours. At the first day, that is, okay, this H1 is equal to 0.6 meter, H2 is equal to 0.55 meter, H3 is equal to 0.5 meter. Formula is H0 is equal to H1 square minus H1 square divided by H1 minus H2. So what is H1 here? 0.6 square divided by 0.6 minus 0.55. Now H2 is equal to H2 square divided by H1 minus H2. H2 is 0.55 square by 0.6 minus 0.55. So H3 is equal to H3 square by H2 minus H3. So what is H3? 0.5 square by 0.55 square minus 0.55 minus 0.5, okay, 5 meter. HW1 is equal to HW minus H0. So what is HW? 12 minus H0 is 7.2 meter, which happens to 4.8 meter. Now HW2 is equal to HW minus H1 plus H2 plus H2. So what is this? HW is how much? 12 minus H1 is 0.6 plus 0.55 plus 6.05. So if you do this, how much? Now HW3 is equal to HW minus H1 plus H2 plus H3 plus H3. So HW is how much? HW is 12 meter minus H1 is 0.6, H2 is 0.55 plus H3 is 0.5 plus capital H3 is 5 meter. So if you calculate this, answer is 5.35 meter. Now the depth of groundwater table is equal to HW1 plus HW2 plus HW3 by 3. So which is how much? 4.8 plus 4.8 plus 5.35 by 3, 4.98 meter. So hope you have understood this problem. It is a very simple problem. You can easily solve this.
Thank you so much for watching. So please do like, comment, share and subscribe.